Hello friends, I am Dr. Sharath Bindor, working as Associate Professor in the Department of English of Ketechum College, Nashik. Today I am going to teach you one prose piece, A Lesson My Father Taught Me by APJ Abdul Kalam from the textbook Initiations, which is prescribed for FYBA General English 1 paper. The objectives of this session are to introduce students to APJ Abdul Kalam, the former President of India. The second objective is to discuss the influence of Kalam's father on him and to acquaint students with his works and their significance. In this session, we are just going to discuss the author of this prose lesson, APJ Abdul Kalam, and his works. In the next session, we will read and discuss this prose piece, A Lesson My Father Taught Me. APJ Abdul Kalam, the 11th President of India, was fondly called the People's President during his years in office as the head of the nation. He was born to Jainul Abdin Marakayar and Ashiyama on 15th October 1931 at Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu. He was born and brought up on the scenic island of Rameshwaram in South India, where his father was a boat builder. Economically, his family had a very poor background. In order to pay his school fees, his father used to rent boats. Kalam was a bright student from the very start. However, he never enjoyed the luxury of concentrating on studying alone, keeping aloof from the home affairs. Even after completing school, Kalam used to distribute newspapers so that his studies couldn't become a financial liability. Kalam had a fascination for seabirds, especially seagulls. From his very childhood, he was very observant of the rhythm of natural life, the rise and fall of sea tides, the flight of seagulls, the waning and waxing of the moon. His father was a devout Muslim but had great faith in other religions also, especially Hindu religion. At primary school level, Shri Shiva Subramaniam Iyer was Kalam's mentor. Kalam has recalled one of the incidents from his primary school days in his book Wings of Fire. Kalam tells that once Shri Iyer took all the students to seashore of Rameshwaram to observe the flight of a seabird. The students were shown the seabirds and they were asked to notice or observe the birds flying. All the students observed the bird and understood the whole bird dynamics from that practical example. This particular incident left a permanent impression on the young mind of Kalam, and he decided to do his future study related to flight and flight system. And he dreamt of becoming a rocket engineer, aerospace engineer, or technologist. When in his secondary school, he was inspired by Yadurai Solomon, who had a different kind of influence on him. Solomon sir asked him to master three forces in life: wish, desire, belief, and expectations. Then he joined St. Joseph College and graduated in physics in 1954. Then he completed aeronautical engineering at MIT, that is Madras Institute of Technology, in 1957. He joined Hindustan Aeronautical Limited HL, Bangalore, as a trainee in 1958. And then he joined as an aeronautical specialist with DRDO and ISRO. In 1960, Kalam joined Aeronautical Development Establishment of Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, as a researcher. He also joined NASA for some period. Kalam first began to work at an expandable rocket venture autonomously at DRDO in 1965. Kalam was the project director of India's first indigenous satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3, in Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, in 1969. Dr. Kalam influenced huge commitment as project director to build up India's first indigenous satellite to dispatch vehicle, SLV-3, which effectively infused the Rohini satellite in the near Earth orbit in July 1980, which made India an exclusive member of the Space Club. So also he pushed for the self-reliance in defense system. Two significant projects, namely Project Devil and Project Valiant, were likewise coordinated by Dr. Kalam in the 1970s. Indira Gandhi supported him in these projects financially. He was also in charge of the evolution of ISRO's launch vehicle program, especially the PSLV arrangement. He was also involved in developing indigenous guided missiles at DRDO as the chief executive of Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. He was also instrumental in developing Agni and Prithvi missiles. In July 1992, he became the chief scientific advisor to the Prime Minister and the Secretary of Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Kalam worked as the chief project coordinator alongside R. Chidambaram during the testing period of the Pokhran second atomic tests. Kalam played a very important role in India's Pokhran second atomic test in Rajasthan on May 11 and 13 in 1998. Then he was appointed as the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India from November 1999 to November 2001. Dr. Kalam served as the 11th President of India from 25th July 2002 to 25th July 2007. He was the third President of India to be honored with the Bharat Ratna, India's highest and most prestigious civilian award. He was also the first scientist and first bachelor to assume this post. Dr. Kalam was a staunch believer in creativity and innovation. For him, human creativity will always be superior to machine intelligence. Dr. Kalam's father, Jainul Abdin, was a very simple person without having any formal education and much wealth. He had chosen his life, which was devoid of comfort and luxury, but he was a man of great wisdom and generosity. Kalam would observe his father getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, reading namaz, and taking a morning walk up to a small coconut grove owned by them. His father had a natural ability to explain very complicated spiritual concepts in a very simple Tamil language. Kalam had deeply observed the generosity, righteousness, and spiritual outlook of his father and always tried to emulate him. Dr. Kalam would always stick and try to understand the fundamental truths revealed to him by his father and became fully convinced that there surely exists a divine power which can uplift everyone from the state of misery, confusion, sadness, and failure. His father would explain him the relevance of prayer as when you pray, you transcend your body and become part of the cosmos, which knows no division of wealth, age, caste, or creed. This preaching of his father infused spiritual understanding in Kalam's personality, which is visible in all his writings very clearly. Whenever dejection, doubts, and failure lurked in his mind, the preaching of his father would serve as a beacon light for him. Dr. Kalam said he had inherited characteristics like honesty and self discipline from his father, and faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother Ashiama. Kalam described his mother as a simple lady who, like many other mothers in the world, deemed it her duty to serve her family devotedly, without any complaint, selflessly, and with piety. Another person who had a very lasting influence on Kalam was his friend Ahmad Jalaluddin, who had deep spiritual knowledge, and the person who had a very great influence on him in his career was Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Kalam felt extremely fortunate to get an opportunity to work with Dr. Sarabhai, who was a heroic figure for young Kalam. Kalam was exceptionally impressed by the leadership qualities of Dr. Sarabhai. Dr. Kalam has written more than 20 books. He considers that an author functions as a conscience builder of the society. This very purpose is reflected in his writings. His widely read books include India 2020, A Vision for the New Millennium, which presents his sublime vision for the country, and a blueprint intended to make India a superpower by the year 2020. His autobiography, Wings of Fire, is a frank telling of his life and a permanent source of inspiration for the youth. Ignited Minds Unleashing the Power Within India 2002 is a humble attempt to ignite the young minds of India, encouraging them to realize their true potential and spurn the deep rooted defeatist attitude among them. Guiding Souls Dialogues on the Purpose of Life 2005 is another book of Dr. Kalam. This book uncovers spiritual side of Dr. Kalam. His another book, Spirit of India, introduces the genuine concern of the Indian youth towards the country. This book is the collection of the questions asked by the youth to Dr. Kalam and his befitting answers to them. His second autobiography, Turning Points, A Journey Through Challenges, is a sequel to Wings of Fire, in which he has depicted his journey as a president and the challenges he had to face during those years. APJ Abdul Kalam's book, My Journey Transforming Dreams into Action, again presents some distinctive experiences of his life which inspires the youth of the country. Forge Your Future delivers insightful solutions to the problems that the youth come across. Dr. Kalam was really a versatile personality. He was known for many things. In the next session, we will discuss a prose piece, a lesson my father taught me in detail. Thank you very much.